Ever wondered how inflation is affecting your everyday life and how it has become a talking point in the political arena? Let's take a closer look. Inflation, the rise in the general level of prices, is making its presence felt in the wallets of everyday Americans. From the grocery store to the gas pump, prices are on the upswing. This surge in costs is not just pinching our pockets, it's also shaking up the political landscape. The Biden administration, for example, is grappling with a range of challenges triggered by this economic phenomenon. Rising gas prices, a key concern for many Americans, are being fueled in part by inflation. Add to this the ongoing disruptions in supply chains, and you've got a recipe for economic uncertainty. These issues are not just economic, they're political too. They have a direct impact on the administration's credibility and are becoming a focal point in the ongoing political discourse. It's clear that inflation is not just an abstract concept discussed by economists. It's a real-world issue that's affecting our daily lives and shaping our political landscape. As the inflation rates continue to rise, it's clear that this issue is not only challenging for us as individuals, but also for those in power. So what exactly is the Biden administration doing to tackle this pressing issue? Let's dive into the strategies this administration is employing to combat inflation. Firstly, Biden's administration has taken steps to address the supply chain disruptions that have been a significant contributor to inflation. By focusing on making supply chains more resilient and efficient, the administration is attempting to reduce the bottleneck issues that have led to increased prices for consumers. The administration has also made a move to release oil reserves in an attempt to combat the rising energy prices. This action aims to provide short-term relief from high gas prices, a major concern for many Americans. In his first State of the Union address, President Biden outlined a four-point plan to tackle the economic challenges faced by Americans. This plan includes investing in American manufacturing to reduce dependence on foreign goods, providing relief for small businesses, and improving the country's infrastructure. These points, if effectively implemented, could provide long-term solutions to the inflation problem. Furthermore, the Biden administration is working closely with the Federal Reserve, which has a significant role to play in managing inflation. The Federal Reserve's interest rate strategy, which involves increasing rates to curb excessive growth, is a critical tool in the fight against inflation. Congressional actions also play a crucial role in this strategy. For instance, the administration is pushing for legislative measures that would help alleviate the burden of rising costs on Americans, such as tax credits and subsidies for lower-income families. It's important to note, however, that these strategies are not without their critics. Some argue that the administration's actions are too little, too late, while others believe that more drastic measures are needed. Although these measures have been implemented, the question remains whether they will be enough to curb inflation and regain the trust of voters. As we continue to navigate these uncertain economic times, only time will tell if these strategies will indeed be successful. Now, how does Biden plan to recapture the hearts of voters who have been scarred by inflation? Let's dive into the political challenges that the Biden administration is facing due to inflation. It's no secret that inflation is a hot-button issue, impacting the everyday lives of voters. Rising gas prices, supply chain disruptions, and the crash of Silicon Valley Bank have all contributed to a climate of economic uncertainty. In response, the Biden administration has been working diligently to assure the public of the safety of the banking system. Emergency measures were implemented to guarantee deposits of SVB's customers and prevent a run on small or regional U.S. banks, a move aimed at protecting the economy and avoiding political fallout. Yet, despite these efforts, Biden's economic policies have come under fire. Critics have pointed to ongoing challenges, including the persisting economic concerns and the administration's handling of the recent banking crisis. Republicans have been quick to criticize Biden's economic policies, attributing the crisis to his administration. But the Biden administration isn't taking this criticism lying down. In response to the criticism, they've attributed the crisis to Trump-era financial deregulation, highlighting the complexities of the economic situation. The administration has pledged to hold those responsible for the bank's failure accountable, demonstrating a commitment to transparency and accountability. Moreover, Biden has outlined a 4-point plan to address economic challenges faced by Americans. This includes tackling inflation head-on and addressing supply chain issues, showing voters that he's taking their concerns seriously. And it's not all about economics. Biden's strategy also involves rebuilding trust with the voters. He's been open about the challenges his administration is facing, admitting mistakes when necessary, and working to assure the public that they are doing everything they can to stabilize the economy. As we can see, Biden's strategy to recapture voters is multifaceted, involving not just economic measures, but also a concerted effort to rebuild trust. Whether these efforts will be successful remains to be seen.